Ma mi sembra che proprio il cinema sia entrato in una crisi molto molto grave. Insomma, mi pare che l'apparecchio attraverso il quale stiamo apparendo in questo momento ai telespettatori, ammesso che non abbiano già cambiato canale con quell'apparecchietto, ecco, proprio quell'apparecchietto penso che abbia cresciuto una marea di spettatori impazienti, indifferenti, distratti, vagamente razzisti, perché quell'apparecchietto è un plotone di esecuzione, insomma, ti toglie la faccia, la parola, ti cancella. Vedere 4 film contemporaneamente potrebbe sembrare l'impresa di un gran cervellone, di qualcuno dotato di chissà quali poteri straordinari. In effetti è soltanto l'incapacità a prestare un minimo di attenzione a chi sta parlando, l'incapacità a lasciarsi sedurre, incantare da una storia. Quindi il cinema, che era proprio questo, era suggestione ipnotica, ritualistica, c'era qualcosa di religioso, si usciva di casa, si parcheggiava la macchina in qualche posto, poi ci si incolonnava, in corteo tutto il rituale, il biglietto, la tenda che si apriva, la mascherina, guardare la platea mezza illuminata, riconoscere degli amici, poi questa luce che si attenua, lo schermo che si accende e comincia la rivelazione, il messaggio. Un rituale antichissimo, di sempre, insomma, che ha cambiato forma e modi, ma era sempre quello. Sei lì per ascoltare.
Senti, ma oggi la gente...
Ora mi pare appunto che tutto questo sia stato completamente distrutto.
Non c'è più
questo atteggiamento.
Rimanere a casa a vedere la televisione?
Sì, ma senza
perché...
rispetto,
certo.
Con questa macchinetta, con questa specie di laser che cancella, toglie, e appena la cosa non presenta degli interessi, degli agganci sensazionalistici, subito salti. Da un film passi a una partita di calcio, a un quiz, da un quiz alla pubblicità dei pannolini. Ecco, questo modo di stare a ascoltare chi parla mi sembra...
Related to the disclosures under both FASB 123R and Internal Revenue Code Section 409A.
You forgot about the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 02.
The statute of limitations renders Sarbanes-Oxley moot post-2007.
Yeah, not if you can find actions to cover up the violation as established in the Sixth Circuit, May 2008.
It's impressive, but you're sitting at a computer.
I'm playing hearts. If you want to beat me, you're going to have to do it as something else.
I need a grown goddamn man.
You give me this, and I will work as hard as it takes to school those Harvard douches and become the best lawyer you have ever seen.
I'm inclined to give you a shot, but what if I decide to go another way?
I'd say that's fine. Sometimes I like to hang out with people who aren't that bright, too. You know, just to see how the other half lives.
Move over. I'm emailing the firm I found our next associate.
This is Patrick J. Adams.
Here comes some acting, I'm gonna act my face off.
And before Suits, that acting didn't come easy.
I had been a professional guest star for about 10 years. I had been on a bunch of pilots that had failed.
I had actually gotten fired from a job a few months prior to the audition, and I was sort of at rock bottom.
And it was public, and it was in the trades. They called me and told me that they didn't want me anymore, but the director was like, but I'm not letting you go. You're gonna come back, and we're gonna shoot scenes, and we're gonna show them. And I was like, dude, please don't do this to me.
Almost more embarrassing.
Yeah, don't do this to me.
I was out of work, and I thought, I think I might just give this up and move on and try something else. And then this script came through, and the pilot episode of this show is about a young guy, you know, finding his way in a situation where he gets to look at his peers and say, give me this job, give me this shot. I've worked so hard for this. And so I was sort of primed for that moment to sit in front of a bunch of network executives and say, trust me, I've got this.
Mike's a fraud, right? He's like making it up as he goes along. And I think that was part of what like really drew me to it, was like, oh, I can bring that part of myself to this guy. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
This guy, Patrick, walks in and it's like, where have you been my whole life? I mean, how can you be that talented, that good looking, and that charming and wonderful?
It was just the easiest audition I ever had.
Once we started shooting the pilot,
Look, I have to put my own interests above yours. It's nothing personal. You're fired.
I was like, whoa, this is different.
Wait, so you're worried that if I stay, then they might find out that you lied about me and you'll lose your license? But if you fire me, then I could tell them that you lied about me, and you definitely lose your license.
Are you telling me that if I throw you under the bus, you're gonna drag me with you?
But you put your interests above mine, and I'm just putting mine back up next to yours.
You're rehired.
We thought Gabriel was the perfect guy for it, honestly. And Gabriel was, a star and didn't really want to read, and he didn't. But he had to, but he didn't. He gave the worst audition pretty much in history. And we knew. It was like, you just don't want to do it. You know what? We get it, but you're great, and we don't want to do it.
It's very hard to make a living doing what we do. And, there's tons of failure. It's failure after failure after failure.
But he was coming with his life experience. He'd done a ton of work, and he was a movie star in a lot of ways. He'd done a lot of huge films. And
my father's an actor, and I saw the ups and downs in his career. You see the failures that came along with being an actor, and you see the successes. And if you feel like this is what you're here to do, to tell stories, to move people, then you stick with it.
Gabriel and I started, we didn't chemistry read together. We had no chemistry read. Yeah. We had nothing like that. And I had the part first because they wanted to get Mike cast. They really wanted Gabriel, and then finally he signed on. And I think both of us got to that point where we both are on something, but we don't know this other person. So I called his people and I said, can we make a lunch happen? I would love to sit down with Gabriel. We went and sat down, and I think we were both really nervous because we thought, this is the person who I'm potentially going to be working really closely with for a long time.
And this is the whole show right here. This is it.
The comedic chemistry between Macht and Adams is undeniable, especially in the first couple of seasons. And to me, it's what made the show.
Hey, Mike, when I'm here and you're here. Okay, bro?
What do you, Luke Perry?
Yo, bro. When it's here, and then I'm here.
Has anybody ever told you have a giant forehead?
Has anyone told you your hair looks like it's afraid of your face?
Everywhere I go, people recognize the show, they recognize the character. This guy's a total workaholic, type A, aggressive, brash lawyer.
Life is this. I like this.
That's just, it's not me, but I stand up straight and I do say the lines and I convince people that I am this guy.
But Macht wasn't the only cast member Adams had incredible chemistry with.
I've never seen that movie.
You...
What? It's black and white.
So are you.
Ugh. Okay, what's your...
Just went in and auditioned for it. I think Patrick was the first one who was cast. And so I'd gone and auditioned. I thought it was one of the worst auditions I had ever done, and didn't realize that behind closed doors, they disagreed with me on that fact and brought me back to test for it. I tested with Patrick.
I was behind that closed door when they disagreed with her. She came in. We had known each other from a pilot, another pilot, failed pilot long ago that we had worked on together. And so when she came in, I knew she was nervous and thought she hadn't done well. And as soon as the door closed, their eyes went wide and they were like, well, that's it. And they're done.
Rachel could have been cast as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl, and they've really embraced changing the landscape of television in that way. Aaron, too, would say, that prosecutor could have been anyone. He's always like, we just want the best talent. It's colorblind casting. It's like, I don't care if it's a man or if it's a woman or what color they are. I just want the best actor for the job.
You can use it.
Use it. We are going to pat it in all over their asses with it.
Rick Hoffman is somebody who I admire. He plays Lewis on the show, and I think he's one of just like the most naturally gifted people I've ever worked with.
To have a character like Lewis start off as just your typical, one-level kind of douche who, walks around every once in a while and checks up on the newbie and gives him shit. The evolution of the guy as a real human being. It's a combination of a couple of things.
Rick was sort of the elder statesman of the whole group, only because he had been through so much of this before. He'd been through so many failed shows. He was just such a disaster. His career was really right there in the gutter.
It was always my intention to take this person that you hated and try to make you love them over time. He can turn a story, he can lead a story, he can be a comedic engine, he can be a supporting player, he can do everything. If Rick weren't as good of an actor as he is, then Ethan Lewis couldn't do that.
I'm an observer of people, and I watch people do things that aren't so, cool all the time, and I, for some reason, can tap into those types of behavior.
I cannot. I'm sorry. I want to, but I can't.
Gabriel gave me the script, and asked me to audition for the role of Donna.
Oh, wow.
We met back in 1993 doing theater. We were fast friends. We've always had a relationship, like we're brother and sister. We've been roommates.
And so I knew that there was an opportunity there for at least a really dynamic boss-secretary relationship.
I was old enough to have done many pilots and to know that you can be incredibly invested in something and it doesn't go anywhere.
When I first read her on the page, I did see that she had a lot of heart and a great sense of humor, and I sensed that she was an empath. But there was, just a little bit there. But what I did know that my old friend Gabriel Macht was going to be playing Harvey Specter. It was so easy and natural and just like butter, just hanging out, playing a scene.
Anyone who's seen the pilot, speaking of, can you imagine Suits without Donna? You know this scene I'm talking about.
You are 5 minutes late. Is there a reason why I should let you in?
Yeah. She's in between the two guys. They're talking. And
I'm just trying to ditch the cops, okay?
And she just is looking from one to the other, and you just feel the glue. You feel like, I just want to hang out with these people.
There's something I need to tell you.
No need to apologize.
That's not what it is.
You're not getting a raise.
Gina had to read in front of all the executives, and she was so clearly nervous. We all knew she was the only person coming in.
At the beginning, it was incredibly frustrating that I was sort of this untouchable, mystical, magical creature. But that kind of served me in the end, Because when you're an actor, you want to use all the crayons in your box. And I had to find a very sort of ninja way of using my crayons. And I think that kind of worked in unexpected and great ways.
Gina is fierce. She is so perfectly cast as Jessica Pearson. There is a quality about Gina that is so regal.
Regally hot.
You're an idiot.
Jessica Pearson.
Good night, Harvey.
That I remember, there's one scene that I have with her, and she just like walked toward me and she had this posturing. I was I forgot my lines in the scene because I was so unnerved by it, and like there's something about like when she's in character, it's just whoosh.
Then why are you telling me?
Because I helped her cover for him.
Are you saying I should fire you too?
I am saying that we made a mistake.
How often do you get an example of a woman that just typifies excellence?
Right.
Everything about her was impeccable. She was the smartest person in the room. This isn't chess. It's dominoes. Now, the first case might be tough, but after that, one by one. And when it's all said and done, I'll be the last one standing, holding a big, fat check in my hand. She knew how to get things done. She dressed for the masses. She was ridiculously perfect. And she was fearless. And so people want to be that.
I originally wrote Suits as a spec script to get a job on a show. I never thought it would sell in a million years. So I had no episode 2 in mind.
Our show was originally about people in finance because our showrunner, Aaron Korsh, worked in finance. But you don't make shows about finance. You can't have things that happen on a weekly basis in that world and keep it interesting and dynamic.
And the network said, we like it, but they needed to do what was called a procedural, right? Like they needed something that had a case of the week, like a law show or a doctor show or something like that. So I thought, all right, if it's going to be a case of the week, they have to be lawyers. Once we did that, I actually thought it made it ultimately much better because the consequences of being a fake lawyer, it's much different. It's a bigger deal. The first version of the script I wrote, they were like, you lost the magic of the Wall Street version in writing this first script. And they basically made me start from scratch. And no joke, I had like a 3-month nervous breakdown. I couldn't write a thing because they gave me like all these different notes. And I thought like, if I listen to this note, it violates this note. If I want to do this, it's going to violate that. I couldn't do anything for like months. And then finally I was like, I gotta finish this thing or I'm going to go crazy. So I just wrote and I was like, I said, forget these notes. I'm just writing another version. And I basically handed the script in. I was like, here's your script. And I thought it sucked. I didn't know. It was so in my head. Anyway, I handed it in and then they said they were going to make it. And I was like, oh, shit.
Obviously, the premise of the show is this guy is a fake lawyer. He's a fraud. And you can only play the danger of him getting caught so many times.
But the network did have a problem with the script.
USA was pretty scared. Those of you familiar with the pilot, we meet Mike. He's a drug dealer.
Like a nice drug dealer.
Yeah, it's a
friendly
sweetheart.
drug dealer you
like.
like. You bring it home to
mom.
Drug dealer you like.
You bring home to mom.
Better be a charming drug dealer, right? But we said, yeah, let's do it. And it was a little bit outside our comfort zone, but just enough.
I mean, I'm serious. I almost got caught today. I've got to stop getting stoned.
Most of the things that were in the show, I didn't think about, we need to do this, right? I don't, that's not sort of how I write.
But one thing he did need to do was captivate the audience. And nothing did that more than the chemistry between Mike and Harvey.
Lewis knows. Lewis knows what? My dirty little secret. You're Canadian?
I think Aaron Korsh did the smart thing by using the first season as the two guys centering on their relationship and then peppering in the other four characters very slowly to sort of ease the audience in to the show.
Aaron was so supportive from the beginning of, joking around, trying new things, changing the line, whatever we could do to make the scene work. And you can't do that if you're not with people that you really trust.
Thank you for getting me off.
Just sorry. Is that really the line?
Getting me out?
Getting you out.
Off?
It's out.
When I was a writer's assistant, on every show that I worked on, the actors at the end of every scene would improvise, 2 or 3 lines. And I always thought they were the funniest lines.
Have you been watching The Godfather? Bada beep, bada bap, bada boop. I've been trying to come up with some common ground to expand our friendship. So sue me. And if you sue me, you're gonna sleep with the fishes. And if you smack the table again, you're not gonna just sleep with the fishes. A horse is gonna sit in your bed bleeding to death, and you're gonna sit there on your own self.
There's something about when you make something up, they would be riffing off each other. You can't create that. If you'd have written those same 4 lines and they were performing them, it wouldn't have been as good.
What did I do? You put the hazards on, you dick. Okay.
Here we go. So when we did Suits, if the actors ad-libbed something funny, I did everything I could to put it in.
Do I look clueless to you?
Another problem was the show's New York setting.
One office, the city.
The city was part of its DNA, but filming there wasn't financially viable.
I can't get him anything in New York.
I'm not talking about New York.
In the establishing shots of the Pearson Specter building, you may have noticed this is a KPMG logo, and this is not New York, it's Toronto, which, if you've never been, is essentially the New York of Canada.
Stretch, stop breathing. Everybody, stop moving. Toronto, shut up.
With the exception of the pilot, all filming took place in Toronto, which wasn't without its awkward moments.
When we're at Bay and Adelaide, and it's a nighttime scene that we're shooting outside on location there, we'll have yellow cabs in to sort of make it feel like New York, but you'll get your occasional just local folks who are out at dinner, or maybe a little tipsy trying to get into our taxis. We're like, it's not real.
Getting to shoot the show in my hometown, I left Toronto thinking, when you leave your hometown, you're like, I don't know if I'm ever coming back here. I'm moving on with it. So to have left Toronto thinking I was done with it and to return to it, to have this professional experience that changed the course of my life, really reshaped that city for me, and it made it such a sort of special homecoming.
My name is Gabriel Macht, and I play Harvey Specter on the new show Suits for USA, which is premiering. We're really excited about the launch, and we hope you are too, so come and join us.
When Suits debuted, it was vying for eyeballs against legendary competition.
In those first few years, it was just whatever we needed to do to make this scene funnier, better, work. Not that they would give us free range, but it was we were all coming in with that same energy we described as young people in a theater. What can we do to make this scene as good as possible? This scene's good. What more can we do? I can do this. I can do that. Now, granted, that ended up, 15-hour shooting days, but we were all so excited and passionate in those first few years.
I think it's so successful because of the characters, really. I mean, I've said it before. I think the way that they're constructed, if it was a show about a hospital or about a school or anything else, it really doesn't matter, and people really relate to them.
It has everything to do with the other 5 actors that put their heart and souls into these characters, and because of the fun we're having out there in Toronto when we're working, I think that somehow comes through, and maybe people feel like they want to have fun too.
For the first 12 years, Suits had a solid but modest following.
I would hear from like some, you know, like some woman tell me their brother or their niece or nephew or parents were starting to become addicted to it.
Until it caught a massive break in 2023.
And then Netflix picked it up, and then the next thing I know, it's like everybody in the world is watching Suits.
I think with any job, if you're working with the same people that closely for now 5 years of your life, yes, of course we're a family.
But in television, families don't always last forever.
In the final season, Megan obviously wasn't able to be in as many scenes due to her personal commitments at that time.
We knew she was excited, and there was reason to keep it, close to the vest.
We worked together for so many years on a show. It's such an amazing experience to be able. We were with each other for longer than we went to college or high school with our friends. So,
Donna, Jessica, Mike, Rachel, and Harvey, they appreciate me. They're my family. I'm asking you, please don't make me leave my family.
But breaking up that family threw a wrench into the writers' plans for Mike and Rachel.
If Megan was gonna leave, I made the decision that I'm like, look, I think this marriage is gonna work out. It just seemed like it was gonna work out. She didn't know it, I didn't know it, but I'm like, I'm gonna bet on her happiness. It's a lot easier to undo her leaving at the last minute than to have to come up with her leaving at the last minute.
Naturally, the next one to leave was Adams.
Patrick told me about his decision to go. He gave me a lot of time, I didn't want Patrick to go. He just felt it was best for him at the time.
When did you get so soft?
It's been 7 seasons.
You're so soft.
It's been a long time. I love you.
I also, just on a personal level, had been away from, my girlfriend, who's now my wife. For 7 years, we had been long distance from each other, and I just really wanted to go home and start that part of my life.
Losing Megan and Patrick is a huge artery of our show.
Like most shows, the later seasons never captured the brilliance of the initial ones. But every time I rewatch that pilot, it reminds me that anyone...
It was my dream to be a lawyer. I got knocked into a different life.
No matter their failures...
And I have been wishing for a way back ever since.
If they persist...
You give me this, and I will work as hard as it takes.
Always has a shot.
Move over. Emailing the firm I found our next associate.
I'm Adam. This is Screen Puff. If you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed creating it, check out this next video. And, as always, thank you for watching.
Wow.